welcome back. Well, today I am joined by McDonald, who is a resident here in Laguna Woods. So this is our segment called In Your Neighborhood. Well, Lance, welcome to our program. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, in terms of being at home, here we have been for, 10 weeks now, I think it is. There's been a lot going on mentally, socially, so many things to consider. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about your background and just kind of tell me what are some things that you have done that have really helped in dealing with this COVID-19.
Well, fortunately, I've been very blessed. I have a background in spiritual psychology. I actually stumbled upon it. I work in the entertainment industry, and I had a very significant injury. And so I decided to go through this master's program in spiritual psychology to kind of help me with all that was going on, with the changes, the radical changes in life that were taking place for me, because I'd only known entertainment. And so what I learned while I was in that program is to take care of myself on all four levels, to not just take care of myself on the physical level, but also to take care of myself on the mental, emotional, and spiritual levels too.
Right.
So in doing that, I've had the wonderful opportunity. I've had the opportunity of going into 5 prisons now. I belong with a group called the Freedom to Choose Project, and we go into various maximum security prisons and work with the residents there, the inmates that are in there. And it's been very, very, very rewarding. So I've been kind of taking a little bit of the work that we do in there and kind of incorporating it in my own personal practice as well.
Okay, and so what does your personal practice outside of that involve?
Well, it's different for everybody. If it's a one-on-one coaching session, I follow your lead. You're the one that's in charge. You're the boss in the situation. So I kind of follow your lead. You're the one with the agenda. I let it happen. So whether you're looking for greater levels of self-care, if you're wanting to move more in a productive way, or branding, I tend to do a lot regarding branding just because of my background in entertainment. But really, coaching really is a personal thing. So it could be different for each company or each person.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about some things that are happening here in the village regarding our residents. Now, as you know, it's 55 and over, although COVID-19 sort of affects people who are elderly beyond 65 years of age, as well as some other things that people are dealing with, which is isolation, depression, and a variety of other things, because we are being asked to stay at home. What are some of the things that you would like to talk to our residents about regarding some of that?
Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about fight, flight, freeze, which is something that's been given to all of us. It's an innate response. Actually, let me rephrase that. It's an innate reaction, actually. It's something that we want to say that we don't have control over it in a sense, but we do to the degree that we do. And I will talk to you a little bit about that and ways that we can support ourselves in the situation. But here we are working in this situation where we're walking through life in a fight, flight, freeze kind of consciousness, if you would. Mm-hmm. And that's wonderful. It's a wonderful mechanism, if you would, for us. Like if danger is upon us, we need to know, do we get in there and do we fight it? Do we run away, or do we just stay still and wait for, the danger to go away?
Right.
So here we've got this undertow and undercurrent of this situation called COVID-19. So we're all walking around with this constant feeling of a predator or danger. So when a situation happens where somebody cuts you off, let's say at the grocery store, or, they stop at a red light when they had a yellow and you get upset, it's really just a way of us kind of acknowledging that we're out of control and we don't really have control over the situation. So that's when we're going to really want to go into self-care. And, self-care can show up in a couple of different ways. You can do it at the on-the-moment situation. So let's say if you're at a grocery store and somebody cuts you off, or they're standing in the 15 or less and they have 25 items, just taking a moment and just acknowledging that this reaction is happening. Because it's perfectly natural. We've got this undercurrent and undertow of this feeling of insecurity and instability. And So when something like that happens, we want to take control of the situation, and quite often we'll, get into our anger or our fear. And so it's just really kind of being mindful of that in the moment, taking a moment to breathe, maybe think of a loving quality, see the loving essence in you, in the person, in the situation, and sometimes that can be very challenging. And one of the ways that we can support ourselves so that it becomes more of a knee-jerk reaction is if we're doing self-care on our own outside of the situation, so that when the situation happens, we can kind of back off, take a deep breath, and let the situation happen and decide, is it time to get in there? I don't want to say fight, but is it time to get in there and address the situation? Is it time to just walk away from the situation? Or is it just better just to be quiet? So we can use that natural reaction and create it into a focused response, if you would.
Well, right. And then, so obviously there are things that we can do in our own lives that would help prevent us or assist us in how we do react to those kinds of things. So what are some of those things that we should be doing?
Well, like I said, self-care is on all four levels. So we really do, like in this very moment, we want to think about the physical level. Absolutely. Follow the CDC guidelines. Make sure that we're taking care of ourselves so that our immune system does have a natural response to fight back. So you really want to maintain your physical self-care, but you also want to think about the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual as well.
Right.
And, for people that are listening to this that might be, agnostic or atheist, or they don't believe in therapy or don't want to talk about their emotions and stuff like that, that's fine. Or they don't have a spiritual practice, that's fine too. What I'm encouraging is, something like let's say like the 12-step program, steps 1 through 3, right there, you're giving yourself an opportunity to pull yourself out of control of the situation. We are powerless over this pandemic. We really don't we have the control that we do. And so that's the thing, is having the discernment of what can I control and what can't I control. And I would love to share an exercise with you, Lisa, if I may, regarding the mental and emotional levels, which also actually support the spiritual level. And it's an exercise that I learned at the University of Santa Monica, and it's something for all of us to do. We actually use it in the prisons. So you can imagine the effect that something like this can have on us as a community. So what it's called free-form writing. And what it is, it's basically like journaling, but it's stream of consciousness. So you basically just let the mind download. And you just write from that place. You don't censor, you don't spell check, you don't think about grammar, don't think about anything, but rather just letting the emotions and the thoughts come out. And you just do that. You just let it keep going. You don't have to write legibly. It can be scribbled. It can be not kind words, whatever that is for you, just let that out. And you don't want to do it for more than 10 minutes. I mean, you want to do it for a minimum of 10 minutes, but not more than 2 hours. Okay. You definitely want to make sure that you're alone during this time so that you can just let anything and everything out. Once you're done, do not reread this paper. You want to go and shred it or burn it.
Wow.
The reason why you want
to reread it, just let it go.
No, you want to let it go. And the reason why is that also you want your consciousness to know that nobody else is going to hear it or see it. Okay. So you want to do this exercise by yourself. If emotions come up, let it run. If it doesn't come up, don't worry about it. But afterwards, make sure that you destroy it. If you find that you write some poetry or a prose or something like that, just copy it down on another piece of paper so that you have that for safekeeping. But definitely do not reread that, because what you're going to do is you're going to anchor it into your consciousness again, and it's just going to recycle. So you want to, like you said, once you let it go, let it go. I
love that. That's a really great exercise. Now, I know you have other advice and other things, but we don't have that much time to talk about all of them. So if someone is interested in speaking with you, I know you're here to offer a free session, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, one of the things that I was noticing is that I've been engaging in a lot of Zoom classes for myself personally. And then obviously my coaching is over the phone or Zoom if people prefer. And so one of the things that I've noticed is by joining these classes that I get to see people that I normally don't see. So maybe people from across the village, people from across the country, whatever that is. With the stay-at-home order, it just gives us an opportunity just to see each other's faces. So I would love to offer a class if those are interested. I could offer a class regarding self-care on all 4 levels and have people have an opportunity to really share their own personal experiences. And then there's also classes that I could talk about regarding the ego and the addiction to security, comfort, and control.
Okay, well, that sounds awesome. And how do people get a hold of you?
Well, my name is Lance McDonald. That's MacDonald, like Old McDonald Farm. And you can contact me by phone, 323-459-2131, or try me at lance@lancemcdonald.com.
All right, and then you also have a website as well.
Yes, it's lancemcdonald.com.
Perfect, perfect.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, I'm going to try that exercise that you mentioned. I think that's a great idea.
It is. It's really, it's a very supportive one, and it really supports all levels. So
all right,
it's a good one. Yes.
Wonderful. Lance, thank you so much for the time. You stay healthy, and good luck with your business.
Thank you so much. It was delightful speaking with you.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And we'll be right back after this.